Hello, guys, and welcome back to episode. Nope, that's not right.
It's fun. Rewind.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode 25.
Feels like a good solid number.
I was about to say I'm Lily Marston, but I'm not. I'm Jessi Smiles.
You could be. Should we role play today?
Ooh, we don't really have anything else interesting to do.
Do you know when my birthday is?
You're in Aries.
I was kidding. I was making a joke. Never mind. Move on.
Me trying to figure it out. So anyway, guys, today's episode is going to be a mishmash. You know, when we don't have a lot to talk about, we talk about everything. And there's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere. That's what we're here for today.
Yeah.
I'm not selling it well at all. Everyone just clicks off. Like, what the fuck am I here for?
I know. I mean, we have really exciting topics that you've never heard anywhere before.
There was one person, I think I said this already in an episode, that said that, like, by the time we get to, like, Sunday or Monday in the last 2 weeks case, but hopefully you're watching this on Sunday, tea is stale. You know, tea is not piping hot. It's lukewarm, freezing cold.
But we've said we're not here to, like, break the news. We're here to just give our thoughts.
So here's a couple topics you've definitely heard this week.
That we're going to give our thoughts on.
No, actually, you know, funny enough, I actually have to take that back. This first topic, I don't think that, like, I didn't hear it until I was just looking for stuff to talk about on the show. And that is that Jeff Wittek and Tana Mongeau were beefing.
I saw a title, but I just figured it wasn't real.
No, it is actually real. So, and it's pretty deep. It's not like superficial, like weird shit. So it involves David Dobrik. Do we know them? We've already discussed this. Yes.
I just said I didn't know, but I'm like, did she go to his pizza opening or something?
Ding, ding, ding. Ruined the whole topic, Lily. Just kidding. No. Yes, that's exactly what happened. You got it completely right. So here's the thing. Everyone knows what happened between Jeff and Dobrik. Okay. I'm going to call him Dobrik now. I don't like calling him David. I feel like Dobrik's more hardcore. No, I can't do that. That sounds stupid. Everyone knows what happened between Jeff and David, where David almost killed Jeff. I mean, there's no other way to put it. He almost killed him doing a prank gone wrong, whatever the fuck you want to call it, on an excavator. Most people have seen the video and all that stuff. But Jeff, till this day, I mean, how many years ago was that now?
2.
Was it 2 years ago?
It was supposed to be, I think, his like return vlogs after quarantine had really...
Right. That's true. So Jeff has been he's been suffering since then. He's been dealing with it both mentally and physically. He's gone through like 9 surgeries. It's completely tragic. It's horrible. And a lot of shit comes with that emotionally. And so that's kind of what we're surrounding this whole topic on, because Jeff felt really shitty about the fact that Tana Mongeau, who recently they've been like best friends. I thought they were sleeping together. I don't know.
Okay, so I was going to ask, do we have the lore about the beginning of their like friendship? Because
I don't know.
When did she become his co-host?
Oh, is she the co-host?
It feels like it. Is she not?
Yeah,
Is she just a guest every week?
Yeah, I don't know. She's literally always there. She might be the co-host now. I don't watch Jeff's podcast enough to know. But she used to be close with David Dobrik, I guess in the way that like anybody's close with anybody in this industry. Like they just hung out or in the same circles a lot.
Well, I mean, he used her for videos.
But when everything happened with the cancellation of David Dobrik on Frenemies, so when Ethan and Trisha went hard on David and like outed him for the essay of Seth and those girls and all that stuff, that was when Tana spoke out publicly about David and was pretty critical and was saying basically that he's a shitty person.
I do remember that, but then after that she was seen with him.
Yeah, so then that's where I start getting into Tana, what the fuck? I get into that territory because she did the same thing with Shane Dawson.
I was gonna say, I'm not really surprised. I felt like that's pretty standard.
Yeah, but to me, I understand Tana is like not known for her
tact,
being a woman of her word, or yeah, whatever you want to say. But that being said, it's like, come on. Like you talked so much shit about Shane Dawson, about David Dobrik, about all these people, literally said they were like dangers to society, basically. You pulled a Jeffree Star and said they were dangers to society. And then you hang out with them again. Like it's very, very, it doesn't look great.
Well, and not to mention the David one, especially like, she really, and again, I don't know the background of their relationship, but Tana and Jeff, if he's like her co-host now, it feels like that would be like kind of don't want to go down that road. Like
I get the vibe that they're just joking about having sex a lot. I don't think they actually do. I don't know what their origin story is, but I know that somewhere along the way they became best friends. Like they are super close. They are like, they call each other their best friends.
Is it Not like kind of just for the show though?
No. So, okay, I have a couple like timestamps for us to watch, but no, you can tell this is serious.
Oh yeah.
Hold
That's
on.
I think I've watched something that had like a recap of it, but I haven't actually seen the video. But again, I'm confused why it would I'm not confused why it would be a big thing. Like, that would be fucked if that happened to you. I wouldn't think you would want your co-host / best friend to go to your, like, kind of mortal enemy's pizza launch. But at the same time, like I just said, I'm pretty sure she's hung out with him in the last year anyway. So was he not concerned about that? Like,
So getting into it, I want to get into the origin of this fight because that kind of gives us a better idea of the vibe.
okay.
Hold on that.
That I was getting a tattoo removed, and then we talked a lot after that. But I don't think I got through to you until I showed that I was getting this removed. And I know I said to you, I may have
Jeff's perspective.
I may have lied to you a little bit and said that I had to do it for free tattoo removal.
Well, we also talked on the phone a lot before that where I had, like, assessed the situation with you and I felt that you were okay with what happened. Like, it was my friend's birthday. I went out a bunch. I ended up going out. My friend dragged me to Bar Lise. The Dobriks happened to be happening there. I didn't take any photos. I didn't post on the carpet there. I didn't post there at all. I went there for 30 fucking minutes with my best friends. I happened to get dragged into a photo that you didn't like, that people were tweeting us.
And it shouldn't even, but the reason I didn't, like, keep arguing with you when you told me this stuff and you were, like, apologizing, I was like, you shouldn't even have to apologize. It's fine. I'm cool with it.
But I will.
And
I love you.
The only reason that I even have, like, an issue, like, don't go there, that's the fucking op. That's because he was doing that to me with my old friends. He said, you can't hang out with him because if you hang out with him publicly, then you make me look bad. So by him getting you to go there and you hang out with him.
Well, he never got me to go there.
He got a photo of you and that's all he wanted. You fell right in his trap and he got you.
But that's the thing. I'm never going to look at it as falling into someone's trap because here's the thing. I went there and
I fell into his trap before.
Yeah, but I
got
didn't.
me good.
And I'm saying that. I had 38 conversations at that event about you, about our podcast, about how much I love you. Do you know I spent probably 20 minutes with each person, like, in his group, explaining to them the relationship I have with you and how much I love you. And it's crazy, too, because I, like, had crazy conversations with a lot of his group where they're like, I miss Jeff so much and I love Jeff so much. Oh, my God. I might be airing too much out. But I'm not going to hit him up.
I talk about that. I just said on here that
I can't hit him up. And I'd be like, why the fuck can't you hit him up? If you miss Jeff, hit him up.
The music.
I didn't even notice.
It's like soft piano music. It was like really dramatic. Okay, I'm a little triggered by this. I feel like so sad for Jeff. And I don't know if people are gonna, I don't think people are on my side because on Adam McIntyre's video about this, I will read you the top comment because it kind of,
Oh gosh.
TBH, I have always supported Jeff throughout his accident, but I feel like he's being really hypocritical with Tana. Not too long ago, maybe 2 to 3 months ago, his best friend Vince Ritchie, I don't know. Ritchie, owner of Hubble Studios and friend for more than 9 years, invited the entire vlog squad and David to his wedding. Jeff was also in attendance and even said on his podcast that he had no idea that the vlog squad and David would be attending. He never caught this same attitude with him, and in my eyes, your best friend inviting the guy that almost killed you to his wedding is far worse than going to Dobrik's opening. Jeff is still friends with Vince, but for some reason he's calling out Tana and not his best friend. Seems weird to me. And that was the top comment. People agreed with that. I don't agree with that at all.
It's a sticky situation regardless. I think a lot of it has to do with the dynamics of the friendship in question. You have different dynamics with different people and you expect different things from different people.
Yep.
I have absolutely no idea who this Vince person is or any of the wedding stuff. I do know that wedding invitations go out far in advance. And I don't know, maybe
that's true.
Jeff and David were okay and it was going to be dramatic to uninvite people. I don't know. Is Vince friends with David? Did they have a separate relationship? There's a lot more aspects that go into that narrative, I think, that don't make it exactly the same.
That's a really good point. That's the most important thing that you pointed out is that there are different dynamics with different people. When you're in a situation like Jess, and we're going to get into a few more points that he brings up, and you really see the psychological, separate from the physical effect that all of this had on him is so horrible and so traumatizing that, like, why are we going to sit here and just be like, well, but you allowed this person and you did that? Like, it's just, he's going through things minute by minute with person by person, and we can't possibly understand it. We can't possibly, like, sit here and be like, well, you're supposed to be okay with everybody because you went to that wedding.
And you think of the healing, and like you said, he's experiencing so much trauma, and I feel like it's coming in different levels and different stages of his recovery. Also, some stuff that will never recover. But I think at first he has to grapple with the whole idea that, like, he was participating in this thing with his friend that was so reckless that like everyone was okay with, and be like, why was everyone okay with that? Like that alone, I think, would be a huge pill to swallow. No pun intended. And then I think when you get to the point that David then...
I just spilled out a bunch of beer.
Oh no. Do you need
Like,
to...
no. I hope I caught that on camera because I literally just...
And then I think when you get to the point...
Like, it looked like I did it on purpose. Wow. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Then I think he had to deal with the whole situation with David, like publicly kind of saying it was Jeff's fault. And then the whole lawsuit thing. Like this hasn't been just I hate David immediately. Like he did really want to forgive him, I think. And I think it hurt him so much to see how David acted after the accident that now he's probably also, I think he's probably taking some of that out on Tana, and it's not all her fault and it wasn't the biggest deal in the world. But I think it also shows how hurt Jeff is about everything, to show that he's that upset and that he really expected that Tana was his friend, and not to have his back being like, go out and shit talk David, but just like, don't go support him.
Well, I also have an issue with like... Listen, we've mentioned, we do, like, we both have, like, kind of a soft spot for Tana. Like, we feel like she's a decent, like, just, like, in her heart. Like, she's not a bad human being or anything like that.
When I hear when she does something shitty, I'm like, fucking A.
I know. Because it's almost, like, inevitable. I relate so much to him, like, saying, not his experience, of course. Like, what he's been through is absolutely horrifying. But like when he says like, I didn't want to have to tell you, like, you can't be with that person, you can't be friends with that person. I went through so much of that back in the day where I would allow things and people to trample all over me because I didn't want to be the person that's like, you can't be friends with them, you can't hang out with them, because I felt like that's what the other person was doing and that's fucked up. But at the end of the day, it's like, you have to understand that boundaries aren't a problem. Like you can be like, hey, that's just like, I don't like that, and that made me feel like shit. And I think that when you're in a situation like his, it's just so easy to feel like you're like inconveniencing people because you're so traumatized, and that trauma like it closes you off to friendships. A lot of people he can't be friends with, all the vlog squad, people that used to be like the biggest part of his life.
He probably just feels like everyone chose David.
Well, because the majority of them did, and just the fact that Tana's like, they were all saying how much they miss you. Like, fuck you. Fuck off.
Honestly, that kind of pissed me off. I'm like, just say sorry. Like, don't play it off like you were there being his PR, like being his publicist. You went because your friends wanted to, that's fine. But like, you could have said no. Like, you could have been like, guys, I don't want to go there.
I get what she's saying in the sense that maybe she felt like pressured or something to go. But like, nobody kidnapped you. Like, you knew where you were going and you went. And you knew that being Tana Mongeau, going to David Dobrik's pizza party opening, like, or pizza party. I don't know what the fuck that guy's doing. Chuck E. Cheese pizza extravaganza. Like. But you knew like you were going to be photographed and that was going to be online. And I totally get what Jeff's saying where he's like, he got you. Like, he totally did what he wanted. And that's to get that picture of you that discredits me and just like our friendship. Yeah. Let's keep going because there's a few more spots where he like solidifies his point.
I felt like you got taken advantage of and manipulated and you fell right into a trap. And that's what I was like pissed off about. And I felt like you didn't give a fuck. You were just like, whatever.
Yeah. And that broke
also,
my heart.
Also, I gotta understand that you are who you are, and I'm just grateful to have you as a friend. You know, like, I had this old school mentality where it's like a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. And I only feel like
I agree with that.
I needed to bring you into that because people are doing that shit to me. The opposite side is saying nobody can hang out with him because he makes me look bad.
But that's like what made me mad is that I agree with you. A friend to everyone is a friend to none. I have spent so much.
Who is that?
I was just like, who's that? Where did he come from?
He's literally just in a corner behind like a palm tree. Like, what's going on?
That I'm there for you.
I know.
Not attending things, not doing things, not being around certain people. I've adopted you as my best friend and let go of a lot of like LA or faker friendships in order to make sure that you know how much I love you. Because I feel like you have a really big issue with knowing that people love you if they don't really show that.
Yeah.
What? Like, hashtag no shit.
He was like, most people. But
that's the part of LA that's so confusing to me. It's like, it's not a foreign concept to want actions to like back up what you're saying. Like, tell me, like, I don't know if I ever told this story on the podcast. You know King Bach?
Yeah.
I don't know why I just said his name, King Bach.
Is he now in the orchestra?
I mean, he does spell his name after Bach, but whatever. King Batch used to be a Viner and used to like run around the same circles as me. And when I visited in LA for the first time, I'll never fucking forget what he did. We were at some, I think it was Daystorm's concert or something. I don't fucking remember. God, another lifetime, huh?
I was going to say, what a world.
But when I went up to him, we were talking and he said something along the lines of like that he loved my vines or something. I don't know, something bullshitty like that. And I must have been drunk because I literally told him, I'm like,
Name 5.
no, God, no. But I just told him, I was like, you don't even follow me. Like, what do you mean you like my vines? You don't follow me. And he's like, of course I follow you. And I was like, but you don't. It's okay, but you don't. Like, you actually don't. I'll never forget. He pulls up his phone to prove to me that he followed me on Vine.
And he isn't.
Of course not. He went on Vine, wasn't following me, was like, oh my God, what the fuck? He pressed follow. By the time I left that establishment, he had unfollowed.
Shut up.
I swear on my life. And then I explained that to someone. They were like, oh yeah, that's the LA. They called it a move. It was like the LA switcheroo or something like that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like I've done that, but not from people that I actually, it's from like creepy guys being like, follow me, and like taking my phone and following
totally
themselves, and then I
different.
unfollow them later. But, huh?
I was like, you don't even know if we would have run into each other like in the parking lot. And I would have been like, what the fuck? You don't follow me again. The whole point of me even sharing that is to say like LA is so superficial in the influencer scene. I'm not saying like everyone in LA. I'm just saying like in the influencer scene, the people that like tend to hang out together, it's so superficial and surface level. To me personally, like this whole like I dropped everyone for you is a little icky.
And also, not even just what she's saying, like she's kind of throwing all that at him, but also I feel so bad for him because one, you can tell as this conversation continues that he's kind of like going inward a little bit, like he feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think it's, as I said earlier, he feels like just no one chose him. Like he was never the first choice for anyone. And he even says that he was mad because he thought that David was like trying to trick her or whatever. I don't think that's why he's sad. He's sad because he thinks Tana's one of his best friends, and then she went to the guy that doesn't give a shit about him, his pizza opening, which if she went to like a random birthday party of another Vlog Squad member, I think it would be a different conversation. But literally his pizza opening?
Right. And you know how many people are going to be there. I think too, again, I just relate a lot to that feeling of being such an inconvenience because of something bad you've been through and feeling
I actually
like, okay, I get it.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm not surprised it reminds you of what you went through because I remember telling you one time after you said that someone had apologized for saying some hurtful things. I was like, why would you be friends with them? And you, in all seriousness, just go, Lily, if I wasn't friends with everyone that talks shit about me, I would have had no friends. And that broke my heart. But then also it gives me similar vibes here. Like Jeff doesn't feel like he's able to be like, Tana, I just didn't want you to go because you were my best friend and that hurts me. He even had to pad it with something else about David doing something. Like, he doesn't even feel comfortable just saying that he was hurt by it.
And it's not to say that Tana is like mean-spirited or that it's coming from a dark place in her heart or anything like that. I think it's just genuinely the influencer selfish mentality that just kind of comes with it, where it's like everything comes so easily to people in this industry because you're paid so much money to do virtually nothing. And it's not to say that we don't work. We do fucking work. But money comes a lot easier to us than it comes to other people. Almost nobody can say, unless it's like a Christmas bonus or something, that for one random month, someone comes to you and says, hey, I'm going to give you $10,000. That doesn't happen to people. So like, I understand how easily everything comes to Tana, not to say she has an easy life or like everything's been peachy keen for her, but you know what I'm saying? That like to go through any obstacle, even with friends or something, feels like, I'm doing all this for you. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like this laborious thing that is like, no, it's, if you step away, Jeff, from all of this bullshit, don't have influencer friends or have people very disconnected from this world, you will see the light. I'm not saying like don't be friends with Tana. I'm just saying like you're not asking for too much by saying like, hey, that fucking sucked. And I really didn't appreciate that you went to his pizza opening and it really fucking hurt me because this guy almost killed me. Like, it's not too much.
That is exactly what I think. It's like, you can tell that's what he feels. That's what he wants to say. But you can tell he is trying to kind of tiptoe around it because he does feel like he isn't allowed to be mad and like tell people not to hang out with people.
Because he literally feels, and he's probably right that he would have literally no one. Like Ethan Klein might be his only like influencer friend who's like willing to be like, fuck David Dobrik. I don't give a fuck about David Dobrik. Everybody else is either on the fence or completely on David's side, which is absolutely insane after all this time.
Jeff, we'll be friends with you.
Yeah, we'll be friends with you. Fuck David Dobrik. I'll say it. I don't care. If I see him in person, I'll hide in a cave, but you know?
Well, and then I feel like there's the whole aspect of like people picking David's side and all the David stuff. And then there's the aspect of he literally experienced such bad physical trauma that he's still, I'm sure he has some kind of chronic pain or side effect that he's experiencing every day. So on top of that, like he already, I'm sure is feeling like someone who personally experiences chronic pain myself. I imagine that every day is a whole new,
Like a reminder.
definitely a reminder, but also just like really hard for him. And then you have the emotional stuff on top of the physical stuff that actually also causes emotional stuff. It just, I feel really like he's probably going through so much and he just wants a friend.
After saying that, you're gonna feel real juicy after this clip. I do want to just say though, really quick, he does touch on this, but like, let's not forget that David is not oblivious. Like David Dobrik's thing is to not address controversies. Like that's actually like the agreement him and the Vlog Squad have. They always stay quiet about everything pretty much and almost never address anything. But like David Dobrik with that eye statue, so he got like an artist. He commissioned an artist in LA who specializes, get this, in eye sculptures. Sculptures of a singular eye, aka what Jeff almost lost because David knocked it out of him on the excavator.
You know, it could be a coincidence.
Okay, no. Literally, what?
That's just me being like, I don't have the energy to think that, like, really? Is he gonna be that, like, you couldn't have just not gotten the eyeball?
There is no fucking world in which he didn't know what he was doing. Somebody said that it's inside of Dobrik's. Like, they put the eyeball statue in Dobrik's.
I think it's
I don't
in
know
his
what's
house.
weirder. Him commissioning it for Dobrik's or for his house. I think both
I
are,
feel
like, sadistic and weird.
He has weird shit in his house, though, doesn't he?
I don't know. He's weird as fuck.
That's the
But
thing. It's
anyway.
like, I don't know. I do think it could be a very morbid coincidence. I hope
No.
that it's a morbid coincidence.
It cannot
but
be.
Fuck.
It can't be. Anyway.
No shit.
Good.
I'm
Who is
literally
that?
your walking spokesperson.
What do
and
you
I'll
think
always be
happens to
that.
me when I go to the Grove and I'm walking around, maybe go to Sephora? Everybody's like, "Where's Tana? Where's Tana? Tell Tana I love her." And I call you.
I went to
and
the Grove
send you
today. I
videos.
met a million Jeff FM fans.
Great, we got a good thing going, and
Yeah,
it doesn't
no
have to
shit.
be all or nothing. You're with me or nothing.
But it is.
You could tell
like,
me-
I'm close to that. I'm just still a human. Like I told you, we were texting actually. One of my favorite lines when we were fighting, I said, "What am I supposed to be, your fucking mob wife?" and hit him in the face. Like I can do what I like. I can avoid it. I said it over text. Like
Nah, it's all good. Let him be that guy that says people can't hang out with me, but I'm not going to do that to him because I got nothing
avoid
to
that
hide.
scene at all costs. Like, there's gonna be times where I obviously run into one of the 20 members of his squad. I just
and those
saw
other
two
guys
of them
are-
today at the Grove.
Those other guys are fine, but like release parties where you're gonna be photographed and used as a pawn, like a chess piece. Like this is her. She's here. She supports me. Cool. We got it. We're good. That's the PR because nobody gives a fuck about anything else but PR in this town. They care about public perception.
What's it really
they
gonna
care
do?
about their image, and that's it.
I think that's a problem. Is I guess I look at it as like, what are they really gonna do? Oh, so what? You posted a Snapchat of me. Jeff's still my best friend. I'm still gonna go to Jeff's house every day.
No, but that's besides the point.
Well, and also she keeps being like, what's going to happen if I run into one of the 20 of them? Like, it's going to be much more likely that you'll run into the main one at his pizza parlor opening.
Yeah, I can't relate because the one time that an influencer even did something remotely to someone I didn't even know at the time, I went up to him and almost fought him. Sam Pepper, hello, motherfucker. How you
Didn't
doing?
something just happen with Sam Pepper?
I don't know. Fuck him. Fuck him.
I think I sent you a
hard.
link because it was the top comment was, does no one remember when Jessi Smiles was going to tried to fight him or something?
Yeah, it was Andrea Russet talking about like, oh, I hated Sam Pepper before everyone else hated him. And I was like, I don't know, girl. I think me and you were like fighting for that place of like hating Sam Pepper. But I had just heard behind the scenes that he did stuff. And then funny enough, the person that he pushed, like literally pushed someone that I knew.
Who was it?
It's someone we don't talk about. All it took was a woman looking at me and being like, this person pushed me. And I like full out started a war with him, sound the war horns.
You weren't like, wait, but how many followers does
No,
he
I
have?
literally, bro, without hesitation, and I am a non-confrontational person. I don't know if that's hard for people to believe. I cannot handle confrontation. Like I do anything to avoid it. I will like end the most serious talk ever with like, LOL, just kidding. Like, I can't handle it.
It's funny because I do feel like a lot of the drama you have been involved in has painted you as this really confrontational person, but I'm here to vouch opposite day.
It just brings me a lot of anxiety. However, when I saw Sam Pepper at that party, it was a beeline. It was like, motherfucker. Well, no, he came up to me. But I was like so ready to go to fucking throw down for someone that I didn't even know at the time who had just told me this guy did me wrong. So like, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. Yes, you are supposed to be his mob wife. You want to be his best friend? Like, if someone who does something to Lily is at a party that I'm at and they're in my fucking realm, like within 3 feet of me, they're gonna fucking hear something. Like, and I'm not a confrontational person. I just don't get the mentality of like, what do you want me to do? Stand up for you? It's like, yeah.
I'm like thinking back to like, look at my Twitter from the last 3 years.
Oh my God. I know.
For,
You went hard.
like, Jessi had to say one thing. I was like, what? Excuse me?
Yeah, Lily was a
Who
ride or
said
die.
what?
Because it just feels like when you see something wrong, like
And when you know it's
and
wrong.
this is to a whole other level. This is not like somebody was mean to me, somebody talked shit about me, even somebody did something horrible. Somebody almost killed you. Like someone literally almost ended your life. When they say they're going to Dobrik's, you say either let me out of the fucking Uber now or turn around or whatever. I'm not fucking going there. Like, I'm sorry,
I just
but
am
that's
still
just
stuck on like that she's then playing it off like, what am I going to do? Never run into... Don't go to his actual pizza place. Like, his business's grand opening, that's where... Do you think you're not going to... Like, that makes no sense. You going to a party and seeing him is one thing. You supporting his business, and then, as Jeff said, him then being able to use your image and your likeness as promotion for this business, and then you don't see the difference there?
No, absolutely. And you could just see his hurt. But I also just want to say people that are celebrities online or otherwise only go to the Grove to get recognized. And I will die on that hill. And it's weird.
When he said I go to the Grove, I was like, oh, why?
Yeah, like literally there's no reason. There's no store in the Grove that you can't just go to like somewhere else nearby. Like everyone goes to the Grove just to get recognized. And just a side note to end this topic on, David Dobrik, your pizza looks like dog shit. Holy crap. That looks like Chuck E. Cheese if Chuck E. Cheese was made 2 weeks ago. It's so sad. Has anybody had it?
Yeah, I would love to see comments from anyone that's tried it. I have not because I don't think it's close enough to get delivered and I'm not about to go wait in a line. But I don't think I've ever seen promotional photos of pizza that didn't make me want pizza. Like, you could show me a cartoon picture of a pizza and I'm gonna want pizza. I looked at the pictures on the Instagram and I was like, huh?
What's so confusing is that you know that promotional photos, the only thing I could think of, you know when they do like Denny's photo shoots or for like Burger King,
And
the
it's
shit
fake and
they're
it looks
using,
phenomenal.
exactly. It's all, well, it's not fake. It's like food, but it's got like WD-40 and like fucking like rocks in it.
I was gonna say, they add stuff to it. They'll add coloring, they'll add texture.
exactly.
Like, it looks perfect because it is staged by like food, there's food artists.
The only thing I could think is like maybe they just tried to photograph the actual pizza and didn't stage it.
Clearly.
And that's why it looks so dog shit.
To play devil's advocate there. And again, I'm never someone that's like going, like leaving bad reviews. Like, I don't, if some people like it, then go get it. But I genuinely was surprised because one, it doesn't feel like pizza is like that hard of a thing to get decently right. It feels like that.
Just dough, sauce, and cheese.
Right.
And call it a day.
I have eaten a lot of pizza in my day because I have the palate of a 5-year-old and pretty much everywhere I get it, it's not bad. And I have never tasted this. Maybe it's surprisingly good. But the day that they opened, I remember looking at some of the pictures and being like, oh, really? And then I went to the Instagram and saw that they were equally as unappetizing looking in those pictures. And then I had just been thinking about pizza, so I ordered one from Papa John's, and I sent a picture to Jessi. I was like, tell me this doesn't look a million times better.
Million times.
I didn't have a food photographer or food artist there to stage my Papa John's. My question is, why is it feels like there's no cheese.
Let me look at pictures. I need to see.
Like the amount of cheese just is lacking so severely. He has two styles. One's a tavern style and one's a doughy style. And the doughy style, like I would think that would be like super fluffy. They look very like crispy. I'm like, I'm not even trying to be mean. I just genuinely, this is what it reminded me of. It looks like the slices of pizza in 7-Eleven.
Oh my God, it's got 2 stars on Google search.
Well, so I know that there's a thing that pops up though, I think on Yelp that is like a warning or like a disclaimer saying like this business has gotten a lot of attention, which is probably because they've been on the news. So you can't really trust what the reviews are.
This isn't a very important topic. I just think it's overpriced and it looks gross. The pepperonis look curled. I'm not, anyway.
Well, so actually though, that you bring up the price, I just saw today, I watched Spill Sesh's video on it, and he doesn't have the prices on the wall. Like, it's just the menu items. I will say, I think the store as like a building looks super cute. But on top of there not being prices, I also think it's strange that I guess there's no seating. It's not like a sit down place. It's like a go order at the counter, and there's I think some places you could stand outside and eat. That literally looks like cold pizza the next morning after you were drunk.
Literally.
I'm so confused.
Just
like
the saddest pizza you've ever seen.
Like in my mind, I'm like, it has to look better in person than these pictures. That doesn't look that bad.
But the pepperonis look like grape tomatoes.
They look kind of similar to the ones that I think it's called Prince Street Pizza that's super popular in LA, where it's like covered with pepperonis. They're like little tiny ones. There's a comment though. It says, BRB, gonna book a flight to America just to try this. Have you seen a picture of pizza before? This is what you need to try?
To be fair, they don't have really good pizza overseas, I've heard.
Oh, there's also no parking.
Oh, that I heard. That I heard that the location and parking is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, which knowing where the location is, because I think it's like right across from Saddle Ranch. Saddle Ranch has parking, but other than that, there's like a couple lots, but you have to pay. And then again, the prices on the pizza, Spill Sesh said they're not on the wall, and even on the website, I think you have to go to like a special part of the website to see them. And for a full pizza, it's like $40.
Stop it. Are you serious? Well, if you have tried Dobrik's, let us know. I am curious because I mean, it's so hard to fuck up dough, cheese, and
That's
sauce.
why I'm confused. I'm like, don't. Like, if I was launching a pizza place, wouldn't you be like, this is the best pizza I've ever had, because you wouldn't want to do it if it wasn't? It must be doing decent, because Ilya, who is his business partner in this, he and Natalie had gone on Jason Nash's podcast, and we're talking about how the next step is to open more of them. They want to have them in Chicago, in Miami, in New York. And I'm like, it's crazy, because even if the pizza does suck, it's still probably gonna do well.
Here's the thing is that, first of all, sucks for him that he was canceled so severely, or I guess not canceled, whatever you want to call it, that he was like exposed so severely. Because Dobrik's for pizza, super smart idea. Like, it just is. Like, Dobrik's, like, that's a very...
I'm sure that this has been in the pipeline for a very long time. And it is just a very inconvenient set of circumstances that have him here. And even given those circumstances, I think it's still probably doing well. I mean, the line has been down the street, but...
Okay, so he has the influence to sell pizzas regardless, but he has the money to get a location in a place like, where is it? It's like in such a good location in Hollywood. It's like super packed.
That's the thing. So it's in a good location if you're... and this is the vibe I kind of get, and I could be wrong, but it feels like they're framing it, and I'm basing this even just off like how it looks and the fact that there's no seating and stuff, that it's kind of a late night after you are out of the clubs and stuff, because it's on Sunset, like by a lot of places where people are out and drinking, that it's going to be like your drunk pizza stop before you go home.
But either way, it's like right in the middle of fucking everything.
But that's like why people would be going there. So in terms of like daytime traffic, it's not like walking traffic is going to be right there.
Okay, yeah.
And like if people want to go, they have to find parking. It's like, it's a good location that people might drive by, but to actually go in and get food and not even be able to eat there feels a little inconvenient.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, obviously he has the money to do whatever the fuck. He's probably going to expand, like franchise it out or something. I don't know.
And I will say, I don't shame him at all for trying to do a pivot and not being on like YouTube anymore. Like, yeah, maybe it is time you take a step away because you didn't really take care of everything that you built for yourself. But then again, I'm just surprised. And again, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just really confused why, like, even looking at this Instagram, it's very clear they don't have a brand person that they hired.
You'd be surprised the amount of brands that have brand people and their fucking Instagrams look like PowerPoint just threw up everywhere.
Okay, well, so, or they do have one and they're just not very good at their
Literally.
job, no offense. But it's really surprising to me that of all people, someone that is a social media expert, that it's like such a lackluster visual representation of, like, it genuinely, the Instagram made me not want to go.
But still doing great. A brand that has already almost 100,000 followers. They've been open for about a month and consistently get around, like really pretty good likes for their following. Like, I feel like he's just got it made. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And it's kind of shocking, but kind of not.
You have to remember that people might be liking or interacting with this stuff, but how many of them live in LA and are going to get pizza on Sunset?
Also, I want to know how much his employees are getting paid, but maybe we'll never know.
Oh, it says temporary hours of operation. I did hear that they've kind of fluctuated their hours a little bit, and Basically, I think it was
4 to 10 p.m.
Amanda from Swell Productions went and like tried it and did a little report, and she basically said it seems like they were ready for a launch, but not to like actually open. Like they don't even have their full menu out and available yet.
Also, I don't know if that's their logo or what, but geez.
That's David?
I guess that's supposed to be David. Anyway, as fun as it is to talk about David Dobrik, shall we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, what is it?
So this one's kind of weird. I know we got a little controversial and conspiratorial, is that a word, in our last episode, which was both a hit and a miss for people. It was either a hit or a miss. There was no in
between.
between.
It was a huge miss for us. If you saw, it's doing not that great because YouTube decided to demonetize it and age restrict it, which Jessi said apparently is allegedly from our use of, do I say his name or do I dare not?
You can say his name.
Our clips of Nick Fuentes.
Allegedly, because H3, Ethan, was talking about how they also got demonetized. And when he personally asked YouTube why, he said it was because they used too many clips of Nick Fuentes for too long without disavowing him quick enough. So I was like, yeah, that's definitely it, because I put a lot of clips of Nick Fuentes because Lily had done the whole like, oh, let's show some clips of Nick Fuentes. And I thought, this guy's horrible. Let's really show it.
Because it's harder to explain who he is rather than just show it. But apparently showing it was not appropriate. So that episode pretty much bombed.
What pisses me off so bad is I'm like, I would have taken that out. Like, I don't even care about this guy. Like, I would have taken it out easily, but we didn't know. When something gets age restricted on YouTube, YouTube cuts it. It does not recommend it to anyone. You don't get paid for it essentially at all. So fun times because we actually
super fun, really long episode that didn't take forever to make. Got it. Thanks. Anyway, next conspiracy.
Literally wanted to cry. Yeah, so this one hopefully will not get us demonetized, but we are going to be talking a little bit about Britney Spears, and it's so weird because it's obvious that something is happening. It's kind of like with Balenciaga, not in the same child weird shit way, but in the way of like something's happening. I don't think it's quite what people think is happening, but something's happening.
It's enough to like weird. Pique your interest and enough to have it be like every other video on my For You page on TikTok right now. Like it is everywhere. I tried to like avoid it because that's the thing. And it's hard with Britney because all of the Free Britney stuff forever, that entire movement, so many people discredited and were like, you people are crazy, you're nuts. And then when it came out that like, oh, maybe everyone's not nuts and she really has been being held captive under this conservatorship. But now things have really escalated to a new level because the new conspiracy is that Britney Spears is dead or that she has been replaced by a clone.
Jesus.
And that this happened a while ago and now someone else is running her Instagram and posting stuff to try and trick people into thinking that everything's fine.
Avril Lavigne called. She wants her storyline back.
So right off the bat, I will say, I do not believe that she is deceased.
Absolutely not.
Or has been replaced by a clone in any way. I do not think that has happened. I don't think there's a body double involved. That said, I will also acknowledge.
Cue the comments. You need to do your research because she is dead.
I will also acknowledge, though, that there are some weird things about her Instagram and her husband and the behavior / the posting / people's accounts or lack of accounts of places they said they went. It's just a lot of stuff that's super sketchy, and then when you know all the sketchy stuff she's already been through, people are very quick to jump to conclusions. But like the craziest one I saw was something about MK Ultra being involved, which is a mind control like CIA experiment from back in the day.
Well, okay, we need to go to the beginning of it to explain it because here's the thing, is that everybody kind of went on a similar journey with Britney. I was a super fan of Britney when I was like in middle school, high school. Like she was fucking my icon.
She's a queen.
But when she went through everything, 2007 was it, when she shaved her head and everything started kind of going like derailing, and that's when the conservatorship started and everything was crazy. We all loved Britney. Then we all collectively were so confused by like what the fuck is going on with her. Then we all, let's be honest, would like make fun of that period. Yep. It's like, oh, don't have your like Britney moment. You know, like everyone would kind of address it as that, which was horrible looking back, but that's just what everybody did. And then we all had the Free Britney moment together, where it was like realizing that there was something wrong, understanding it, then getting together and being like, we need to fucking help this person get out of this conservatorship.
Though I do think that kind of came in two stages because again, I think there were people that thought that for a long time that a lot of other people were like, no, she's just lost it. You guys are stupid. And then it got to a point that then everyone was like, no, something's going on. If that hadn't happened, these rumors I don't think would have gotten as much traction as they have.
Well, and I think too, once Free Britney happened and once everybody kind of got together to free her, like we didn't free her, she, you know, essentially freed herself. But she does say like the movement did help, like all the momentum and attention did help her get out of her conservatorship. Then she started posting on Instagram pretty wildly. Now people attribute this to her not having been in control of her own social media for so long that she almost didn't know how to do it. And so people were like, she's writing weird captions and posting lewd photos and like not really like making any sense, because this is her like breaking free. This is her literally like having her almost like high school year moment, but now because she hasn't been in control of her life for so long. So like I was on board for that.
Do you know who it kind of reminds me of a little bit is, but like Britney's not old enough for this to be the case. And I assume it's not just because she's old, but Cher. Have you seen Cher's Twitter? She writes the weirdest, she puts the weirdest tweets and uses like emojis, and it's like she's speaking in code.
Well, that's how, okay, there was this one girl on TikTok who literally was like, I'm Britney Spears' Southern translator. Have you seen her?
Yes, it's actually really funny.
She reads the caption. Yeah, like she says like the captions don't make sense because Britney's Southern and she's writing in a Southern way. But honestly, girl, even when you read it, it doesn't make sense. Like half the captions do not make sense if we're being honest. But besides the point, I feel like everyone was kind of like, listen, just let her be. Like we don't need to be critiquing every move that she does. Just let her post whatever the fuck she wants. That kind of era happened and we were all like, okay, cool. Then December 3rd, 2022 came, which was just a few short days ago. And this was when things started to pop up on my For You page. And it was that she posted a picture of Jamie Lynn Spears, which is her sister.
Because I was like, wait, I thought she hated her.
That's the thing. So Jamie Lynn Spears is Britney's little sister. Now, Britney has very, very, very publicly condemned Jamie Lynn and her complacency and possible involvement in the conservatorship itself, and that she got money and was getting money from their dad, Jamie. And it was like this whole fucking thing. She would constantly post things.
And was like publicly calling her out. Like they were going back and forth on social media.
Constantly. And it got to the point where Jamie Lynn had to like literally turn off comments on everything. Like people were reaming her.
After she went on her Call Her Daddy podcast too.
Yes. Oh my God. Basically, she posted this picture of Jamie Lynn. She was playing the guitar. Super random photo to choose. I don't know. It was her birthday. It was Britney Spears' birthday. It was her 41st. And she posted this picture of Jamie Lynn playing the guitar with this caption. It says, "It's my birthday, but you're my heart, so I'm thinking about you. Congratulations on being so brave, inspiring, and showing guts and glory in your show. You ain't alone. If anybody knows what that feels like, I get it, my baby sister. I love you."
Okay. So
What?
it is written super weird as usual, but guys, literally, how many months ago was it? They had this very public, which I'm thinking too many things at once. How many months ago did they just have this very public feud, which they never resolved publicly, to my knowledge? Not that they couldn't have made up behind the scenes, but then on her birthday of all day, like what?
I get it. Family members can make up behind the scenes.
Weird.
It was just a little bit of a red flag. Yeah, it definitely is typed out, in my opinion, like Britney wrote it. I feel like that part makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is worded strangely, as usual, but what it says is definitely a drastic shift from the few times before when she was posting about her sister. I guess she doesn't tag it, but it is also another level of weird to me that she's like promoting a project that Jamie Lynn's working on.
Right, yeah. No, I mean, it is super. When I saw it, I was like, my first instinct wasn't, this isn't Britney, someone hacked her.
Your first instinct wasn't, she's been cloned.
Literally. It was just like, Britney, what the fuck? Like, that's weird as hell. Like, no explanation. But anyway, then everyone went cuckoo bananas when this TikTok came out. So you just sent it to me.
My text to Jessi is, P.S. Everyone thinks Britney Spears is ... dead? Okay, so this is one of, I guess, the most incriminating pieces of evidence. I think this is just one major clue, and I say clue in quotes because I don't think this is as far-fetched as people say. This was posted as a story on her Instagram on her birthday. It's her husband, like, saying happy birthday to her, and when you like, it doesn't sound like, it sounds like the clip has been edited with outside audio or something.
I'm just gonna say this. Yeah, I'm not like here to jump on a bandwagon. That motherfucker always gave me the creeps. I think her husband is weird AF. I don't know what his fucking deal is.
Where did he come
Who
from?
are you, sir?
Did someone do a background check?
Anyway, here's a TikTok.
Oh, wait, before you play it. The caption on this TikTok, it's someone who had reposted, because it's a story from Britney's Instagram, but someone reposted on TikTok. The text on screen says, okay, I'm just going to say it. Britney is not free, or she's already gone. What the fuck is this? Where is she? Why does it sound like they're playing sound bits of her voice, which I'm not going to lie, it does. And then it says, why is she wearing her COVID extensions? Where is she? You know, I don't follow Britney close enough to know about her extension timeline, but
Sounds legit. Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear baby. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
I love you. Thank you so much, baby.
It's time for you to open your gift, baby.
Okay.
Upon hearing it again, I don't think it's like little bits of her voice. I think that's actually her speaking. I get what people are saying, she's speaking weird, and it kind of could be perceived as like, oh, they took clips of like her voice from something. But now that I'm hearing it back, the one major point that I have is that any time that Britney has been authentically herself under no duress, she has not spoken like that in her baby voice. That's not her voice. Like, we all know that by now, that she doesn't talk like that. She doesn't sound like that. So that part is very concerning. Also, he's fucking weird. He's so weird. He's like, happy birthday, baby. Like, I would literally be like, sir, if you want me to fuck you ever again, you better shut up. Like, seriously, it's just so like cringe. But like, she doesn't sound like herself. I don't know anymore. Like, when I first heard it, I was like, that's like, yeah, it sounds like a recording of her voice. No, I don't know. What about you? You think it is still?
I don't know about recording. I don't know. Something seems weird. Mostly the stuff to me that seems weird is him. Like, he just seems very awkward.
Right.
Which is not any proof of anything happening.
Yeah, like, you guys
But
have been together for a long time. You're married. Like, what is this dynamic? This is
it
giving
feels like a first date kind of
That's
situation.
literally
Like,
what I was
yeah.
Yeah. The TikTok that you sent me is actually a stitch to this TikTok. So that was this girl.
That was the first one I saw, which then just became literally almost every single one I passed was about her. Oh, wait. Also, did we mention that Britney's Instagram is deactivated right now? And it was after all of the suspicion started.
Yeah, that's true. So once everybody started getting crazy, she dipped, and she is no longer on Instagram as of right now.
And to my knowledge, Sam has turned off all of his comments.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Okay, let's talk about this. So he has now turned off his comments. Her account has been deactivated. And apparently she has a court hearing today at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. So if someone could follow that, let me know what the hell's going on. That would be awesome. But this is what freaks me out. When I saw this comment, all I could think about was this recording that I found from her talking about her conservatorship from a few months ago. Just listen to this.
Or I honestly deserve an award for acting like I was okay every day. I thought they were trying to fucking kill me. I remember one time I was backstage and I needed my inhaler. And I opened up to my assistant because I had my phone with me, which I'm not supposed to have my phone underneath the stage. But I said to her, you know what I'm doing. I was talking to a guy and he wanted to just leave the country with me. We had it all set up to just leave. And it was a secret relationship. And I said, my biggest fear was, what would my dad do if I did do something wrong? What if I left the country? What if they found me? And what would they do? And I said, I feel like they would lock me up or something or really hurt me.
First of all, listen to her voice. Obviously different than...
Different person. Even one of the top comments on this TikTok says, what she's saying is scary, but to add to it, this is her speaking voice. It sounds nothing like her. Thank you so much in the other video.
Yeah, and it's like, thank you, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like, it's not right. I think we were talking about this before we started filming, and I feel like, do you want to share your theory of like what you think happened? Because I feel like it's probably the closest.
Yeah, just that and if I end up being wrong, then fuck. I don't even want to entertain that option. I'm just going to hope that I'm correct and that I don't think Britney Spears has passed away. I don't think she's left this earth, but I would not be surprised if she was. It's very clear. We've learned over the last decade that she has severe mental health problems, whether or not they were caused by her child like rise to fame or they would have come out anyway. She has some issues. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if she had to be put in like an inpatient facility, especially coming out of the conservatorship and having kind of her whole life routine maybe shift. It's going to bring a lot of new stuff. And I think that's going to be a lot to process, good or bad. So maybe that's the thing. It's like she could have voluntarily gone to somewhere to get help, or maybe they forced her somehow into an inpatient facility or something related to mental health that she is getting treatment for, regardless of whether it's her choice or the people around her.
I think that's obviously a lot more plausible than she passed away. I think that's such a morbid conspiracy, and I don't think it's true or there's any merit to that at all.
We also compared it to the Black Mirror episode of Miley Cyrus. If you guys have seen, it's literally like they have her, I don't remember even they have her like in a bed, like sedated basically, but do they have like is there like a clone?
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Basically, it was like the real person was like dead in the sleeping basically all the time. And there was someone out there like living her press life for her. People are kind of comparing it to that. And I'm like, I don't think it's that extreme.
And I also think that like maybe that's true. I just feel like the whole inpatient thing too, I'm like, fuck, but there's TMZ and stuff like scrubs through like every hospital, every courthouse, everything to try to see what's going on with celebrities. Like nobody would figure out if Britney Spears was in an inpatient facility or something.
But at the same time, that brings up a lot of the other evidence, quote unquote, that people have. That one of the biggest things was, I guess she posted on her birthday that she had the flu, but then contradicting that, I guess Sam posted that they got dinner at Nobu in Malibu, which is this really fancy ritzy sushi place, which you cannot go to as a celebrity and not get paparazzi. That's not going to happen,
like they wait
especially for Britney
there.
Spears.
Yeah.
So they didn't go. There's no photos of them at Nobu, and there would be.
So why lie about that?
What's even stranger is that there are photos of her somewhere else that someone random took, because apparently she came up to their table and started like playing with their baby, and they only realized after it started happening that it was Britney Spears. And these pictures are like straight up 2007 Britney, where like her extension tracks are showing, and she's like, it's super weird because she's like all like kissing on this baby, and it's like she posted that she had the flu.
Huh.
So 1, does she have the flu and was playing with the baby? That's fucked. 2, does she not have the flu? 3, what?
Yeah, it's something's happening.
Why are there so many conflicting stories?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it definitely brings us back to the Balenciaga. Something's going on, but we just don't know what it is, and we cannot say that she's passed away. I mean, come on. I feel like everyone jumps to that
to me
always.
just seems so absurd, because it's like, what would I get that, yeah, they're using her for money and that would like sustain them maybe for a little bit, but like how long would you really be able to keep up that like that's not a realistic thing. There's tons of TikToks out there, and I if you guys would like to share any more compelling evidence, I don't know, I'm curious what's going to happen in the next like week, because I feel like a lot of stuff just keeps kind of trickling out, and it's going to be a situation where we actually do find out something.
Well, yeah, because sooner or later Britney Spears is going to pop up. Like we're going to see her, but
like it's not going to be the normal conspiracy where everyone just assumes till the end of time. I think that something like we'll find out what she's been up to, but I think it's maybe not the best to speculate that she died.
I know, especially someone who has like mental health struggles, and it must be
but
like.
I think it's okay to be concerned and valid given the kind of weird behavior going on, but I don't know.
But we can all agree that her husband's weird. That we can all agree on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's about it for this episode. I want to say it might have been a short one, but knowing how much rambling we just did, it was probably still long.
I don't even know what we talked about.
I know, me neither. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you for sitting all the way through if you did. And yeah, I think that's it. Right, Lily?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next Sunday. Hopefully you're seeing us on Sunday right now.
I was going to say, hopefully this is going up on a Sunday. If not, don't hate us. We love you. Goodbye.
Fuck our lives. Love you. Bye.